Alright.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Today we're reviewing the 2025 Tesla Cybertruck.
And we're in Oceana Dunes in the central coast of California.
And we just got some honks from some passerbys, so we're excited to show you around this very controversial car.
Must be a subscriber.
Yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed like him. Alright, stay tuned. Thanks. Driven like 5-6 hours in this car. I think, yeah, I'm very, very impressed by the car. It's super comfortable. There's so much space like in the front, back, and in the trunk. You know, I mean, that is like this kind of car. It is a pickup, but still, it kind of brings like the Tesla tech side to that experience. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, you know, I'm super impressed with this car. I know the looks are very controversial. I don't personally mind it.
Yeah, I'm getting to like the front view quite a bit. I think the side view is starting to grow on me. I think the back view of the vehicle is, I don't know, it's very kind of basic and plain, very minimalist, which is in keeping with some of the Tesla design philosophy. But I'd like to have a little bit more design on the rear of the truck. I think that would help it a lot.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think interestingly, there's no Tesla signage anywhere on the car unless you're on the inside, and then it really only says Cybertruck. And that's funny how, given how recognizable this car is, still there's nothing that's shouting that this is a Tesla or a Cybertruck from the outside in terms of like actual logos. Yeah, I think it's really comfortable. Like the fact that you can control the AC in so many different ways. You can get cooling through your seats. You know, massive screen that's super snappy and responsive, and then same with the back for any passengers you might have. You know, this dog is happy as well.
Yeah, I was just thinking a little bit more about why the driving is a lot more solid than other trucks. So I think a lot of it is the traditional truck setup is you have the solid axle on the rear, whereas on this everything is independent and it's also adjustable ride. So I think a lot of those things are new to the truck world, unless you go to a very high-end SUV like a Range Rover. Will have similar capabilities on the suspension, but this really takes it to the next level in terms of a true pickup truck, which is pretty awesome.
This is a semi-bulletproof stainless steel exterior, and so I know that if we get in a crash, probably we're not the ones getting injured, most likely. So it feels very safe, you know, very advanced on the tech side. I think the performance is pretty impressive. You know, based on the trim, you could even get like a sub 3 second 0 to 60, which is pretty insane. Can tow around 11,000 pounds. I think overall, and like also the handling, it feels very planted to the ground, and that rear wheel steering really allows for you to have some finesse in some of the lower speed, tight turning.
That was really cool for getting in and out of some tight parking spaces. And the turning circle was pretty small.
Yeah, it's kind of weird looking out of the side mirrors as you're reversing, and then you see your back tires kind of moving in and out.
Yeah, and it moves quite a bit. Some vehicles with four-wheel steering, the rear tires just move a little bit. But this is very noticeable. The other noticeable thing is the amount of input you need on the steering wheel to turn. It's actually a pretty small amount that you need to turn from lock to lock on the steering wheel. And that comes in from the drive-by-wire steering. The components of the steering are not connected to the steering wheel. So there's some flexibility in how much input you need versus how much the wheels can turn.
Overall, feel very impressed, have a great impression of the car. I know it's very controversial. People don't like the looks, people don't like the CEO of the company, but when it comes down to it, the driving dynamics, I think it's a win in my books on all fronts.
Yeah, it feels really solid. I think one thing is the tires are kind of a mixture between road and they're a little bit knobbly. They're not really off-road tires, but they're pretty good at driving in the sand. They're pretty smooth on the highway. I was expecting them to be fairly noisy, but they're not. They're actually pretty nice on the highway. And just the general feel of driving the car is pretty stable.
We are running into a little bit of range anxiety here, hoping to get to the supercharger. Okay,
just about charged up. We're just with the dog in the back. Looks nice and comfy.
Okay, one thing that I like about the car that has nothing to do with the actual performance or the looks is this display that you have in the middle. So there's like a 3D model of the car. You can kind of go in and out, and it actually reacts, you know, to every single thing that happens to it. So if I pop open the door, for example, it actually shows first the door is open as well as how far out the door is, which is kind of a cool little detail. And obviously you're able to kind of control all of the trunk information, and I'll also update with the lights you have on. So yeah, just turn on the hazards and it shows that. So it's a cool little attention to detail that I appreciate.
All right, so now we're back on the road, just finished charging.
Yeah, the charging experience has been pretty positive so far. We started out on about 40% charge, and we got to a supercharger at about 7% remaining. And the charger location was given to us automatically by the navigation system en route to our final destination. And so going from about 7% to 93% took a little over 35 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick. And yeah, I really like the way that the supercharges are optimized in your route automatically. You don't really have to search for them. They're just suggested along the way, which is nice. I like that. I think the elevated driving position is very different from cars that we normally drive. So you definitely have a more commanding view of the road, which I like.
How do you feel about this really long hood that's extending in front of us?
Yeah, you can't really see the HUD, but what's interesting is the window extends really far in front, so it seems like there's a massive dashboard. Yeah, with the tonneau up, you can't really see anything. You can't see anything at the back through the rear view mirror, but there's a nice display that shows you a virtual rear view, which I think is pretty adequate. The front is pretty usable in that it's easy to open and close through the interface, but the actual amount of storage was pretty small. I felt it feels more like a shelf where you can kind of put a few small objects.
Yeah, we like put our shoes up there and some snacks, but really didn't have any space for full-on bags or anything.
Yeah, but then on the flip side, the trunk bed itself is pretty sizable, and then you can lift up one of the panels in the bottom, and there's even more storage beneath the trunk bed. So definitely good utilization is possible with the trunk. You can fit bigger objects, no problem. And then it's really nice you have the tonneau cover, which can secure all of your items, which is definitely a bonus compared to other trucks.
Yeah, we still feel and hear kind of the things moving around in the background, given that we haven't tied anything down, but certainly a lot of space. We're able to fit, 4 suitcases in there completely at ease, which was really nice compared to what we're used to, like with the sedan or even the Model Y, which can feel a lot more compact in the back.
And I think this is probably the best experience I've had in the EV. I've been in the Model 3, Model S, the Y, the Bolt, and so I've been in the Taycan, and I think by far this is my favorite. This really sits at the top of the list.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking is, I think if there was an SUV version of this, I think it would probably be pretty cool. Just like the Rivian has the truck and the SUV on the same platform. Yeah, it'd be good to have a little bit more storage that you can access from inside the vehicle instead of having to go outside.
Yeah, that's true.
Access through the trunk, or what do you call it?
The tonneau.
The tonneau. Yeah.
Okay, everyone in the comments, we've been arguing about how to pronounce it. Is it tonneau or is it tonneau?
It's tonneau.
Let us know in the comments.
Tonneau.
That's kind of like the ethos of Tesla, like having pretty impressive performance and technology at a very, I guess, affordable price.
Yeah, I think if you were to compare the technology to other vehicles in the space, you'd probably pay a lot more for other brands.
Yeah, and so the cost on this, based off of kind of what trims you have, are going to be in the low 60,000 all the way up to north of 100K. But I mean, if you're getting in at the 60, 70K range, or especially if you get a used car, I think it's a great bang for your buck performance wise, and it very much feels like a luxurious vehicle on the inside. Like I know maybe you don't agree as much about the comfortability of the seats, but I think it's great. It hugs you from the sides. It feels very sturdy, which maybe is what I like specifically in seat.
Yeah, one other thing about the Tesla pricing is the vehicle is the same for the most part on the interior for all the different trim levels. Really, what differentiates the different models is whether you got the rear-wheel drive, the all-wheel drive, or if you get the Cyber Beast, which has 3 motors.
Yeah.
But all of the interior, the audio system, and the rest of the technology is the same across all the models.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if you're not a huge stickler for performance, then you just want something that's comfortable, will get around, and have some utility with the size of it. I think that's a great part of Tesla's value prop, is that you're able to kind of get all the niceties on the inside for pretty much the entry price.
Yep.
Final words in the Cybertruck? I was very impressed. I think this is a really cool car, and I think Tesla did a great job.
Yeah, I feel a bit sad dropping it off at the dealership now. I feel like it'd be awesome if we could keep it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall the experience was really good. We've never owned a truck before, so having a vehicle much better than I thought it would be. I didn't really find any downsides with this at all.
Yeah, I thought it was smooth sailing the whole time. It took everything that we threw at it. Super comfortable, super durable. We just gave it a quick wash with the hose, and it seems like it's pretty easy to clean.
Pretty easy to clean off.
Overall, super impressed, and I think both of us would say the Cybertruck. If you're looking for a bigger car and like you're into EVs, this is probably one of the better places you can put your money. Like the performance is just great, super comfortable, lots of space, and if you like getting attention, then you'll definitely get that as well. Thanks guys for watching this video.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, so we can have more videos, and definitely let us know if there's any specific cars you want to see us review in the future, or feel free to reach out if you have a car you'd like us to review. All right, thanks. See you in the next one.